Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you had a great Friday. Today is Saturday, and as customary, we're going to go over the miners versus Bitcoin for today. So we're also going to take a look at Bitcoin, see what's going on there on the chart. So as always, miners versus Bitcoin. We're also going to take a look at ARGO blockchain's July update as well. And I think you guys have noticed something different. I wouldn't say a lot, but some have complained that the volume was kind of low. So I wanted to see if maybe bringing the microphone closer to me, swapping it out. And I had a shotgun microphone before, bringing like a studio microphone in, if that would help out. So let me know in the comments down below if it does help out the audio quality or not. I'd greatly appreciate it. So as always though, you guys know the drill here. I'm invested in the following coins and companies. This is not financial advice. And you know the drill here. So let's get into Bitcoin here really quick. And then we'll get into the miners for the week. And then we'll get into Argo as well. So, that's Stronghold. We should want to get on Bitcoin right now. So Bitcoin right now is at 23,231. It has obviously gone up quite nicely yesterday, which was looking like it was going to be a red day, but it did muster the strength to go back up. Let's take a look at the 200 weekly average, and we did close above that, so that's at least a good sign there. We are obviously bouncing off of it, so we'll see how that goes going forward. Right now, we were lower, so we have been bouncing up a little bit here in the last couple hours, and we'll have to see if we can go back up into this high level here of 23,820, roughly, which is our resistance. As you can see here, we've tried it a couple of times to get above it and stay above it, but we weren't able to. So we'll see if this time around we can actually go above it and stay there. On the RSI, we're not looking too bad right now. We're still looking pretty good. I think on the daily 1 hour, let's take a look at the 1 hour chart right now. You can see here we've been going pretty flat on the RSI, same with price action here. So I think we still have room to go a little bit more before we possibly get oversold a little bit, and then possibly have a little area of where we just trade sideways, possibly price going up a little bit, or it will fall again. So we'll see. Ethereum is at 1,713 right now. Let me get rid of the weekly here. And we can see here the RSI has been coming down. Price has been coming down as well on the 1 hour chart, which is okay. We can go up a little bit more here on the 1 hour chart. The daily chart, same thing like Bitcoin yesterday. We obviously were lower towards the end of the day, but then we obviously had a nice rally here towards the end of the day, and we are now lower in price, but RSI is still looking pretty good overall. If we look at it here, last time we were right around there. I mean, price is still higher from prior RSI area here, so that's good. Okay, so I think that's it for the Ethereum. Bitcoin, we'll see how it goes. Let's take a look at the miners, see how they did for the week versus Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, as you guys know, I track it through Friday's closing, as I track the miners through the end of the Fridays. So we're doing the same thing here on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin finished out the week down a little bit. It was down 2.16% to, it was down to, to 23,289 on the week. So it was down about $515 from the prior week. Not a huge loss, at least on Friday to Friday. And it might actually end up by being in the green by the end of the close of the actual week for Bitcoin. So looking at the chart here, we can see that everybody here has done, well, not everybody. 75% of the companies did better than Bitcoin did for this week. The only ones that did worse was DigiHost, Luxfolio, and Mawson. Mawson was down 8.6% on the week. And then the best ones this week was Iris, which was at 19.4, CleanSpark at 16.79% gains. Core was up 15.94, almost 16%. Riot was up 12.98. Hot 8 was up 12.26%. Hive up 11.53. Bit Digital was up 11.51%. Bitfarms 10.96. Marathon up 9.08%. And Sphere was up 7.06. And then DMG was up less than 1% along with Stronghold. So the good thing is obviously we're starting to see a trend here where we're getting more green on the 4 weeks, 8 weeks, and hopefully we'll transition that eventually into 12 weeks where, going back 8 weeks ago, that might have been our possible bottom. Only time will tell if we don't retest that bottom and go below it. But only time will tell, obviously, if that's the case. Right now it's looking like that is currently our bottom, but we'll see. So looking at it here, you can see who's done better here in the 1 week. Let's take a look at the 4 week time frame as well. And we'll get into the other ones here quickly. Sort descending, go to 4 weeks. There we go. So Core Scientific is up huge in the last 4 weeks. It's up 86%. Marathon's up 76%. Hut is up 50. Riot is up 48. Iris is up 45. Hive is up 42. Bitfarmers is up 38. Stronghold is up 37. And DMG is up 33%. While Bitcoin is only up 11.77%, right? So that's one of the things that I keep mentioning to you guys is that when Bitcoin goes up, the miners will, for the most part, do a lot better than Bitcoin does. 1.5x, 2x, 3x better than Bitcoin. And the same can be true when Bitcoin goes down in price. We'll see the same happen. Bitcoin will go down 1%. The miners will go down 5%, 7%, or something like that. So it's just the way it works, unfortunately. The ones that did better or worse than Bitcoin was DigiHost was down 10.36%. Or not down. They were down up less than Bitcoin. Since Bitcoin was up 11%, they were up only 10%. CleanSpark was up 9%. Sphere was up 7%. LuxFlow was up 6.21%. And the ones that were actually negative was BitDigital and Mawson from 4 weeks ago. Looking at the 8-week chart really quick as well. We can see here Marathon's up 114%. So Marathon had a huge gain there. Riot is up 77%. Hive is up 71%. Stronghold's up 61%. DMG is up 57%. Hut 8 is up 49%. Iris is up 26%. Core is up 24%. Bitfarms is up 21%. Argo is up 14%. Bitcoin is up to 13%. So these guys did a little bit less or a little bit worse than Bitcoin. DigiHost, Sphere 3D, BitDigital, LuxFolio, CleanSpark on the 8 weeks. And then Mawson has been down 40%. So Mawson has been getting extremely clobbered here in the last couple of weeks. And then finally, looking at the 12-week chart as well, we can see that Marathon is up 45% from 12 weeks ago. Riot is up 20%. Hive is up 13%. And then here below this line is down. So Hive is down 4%. Hut is down 4%. DMG is down 4%. BitDigital is down 6.63%. Bitfarms is down almost 11%. DigiHost is down 12.3%. Stronghold is down 12.8%. CleanSpark is down 17.5%. Bitcoin is down 20%. Core Scientific is down 21%. Iris is down 24%. Argo is down 25%. Sphere is down 23%. LuxFolio is down 32%. And Mawson is down 63%. So the thing that we're seeing here is obviously we're coming off of our really, really lows that we hit earlier this year, where we were down on the miners about 88. Some of them were down 90% even. So we're starting to kind of bounce off of that a little bit. So that's at least a good sign. How long it's going to last? Don't know. We'll find out. All right. So those are the miners there. We can also see it here on the chart, on the weekly chart. We're starting to see a lot more green here than we have seen in the past. Obviously, in the past, we saw a lot more red. And we're seeing consecutive weeks for the miners where they are green. So we've seen Bitfarms be up 3 weeks in a row, Core being up, DMG, Hut, Marathon being up as well, Riot being up basically 5 weeks in a row in the green. So we're starting to see that more green trend, which is a good sign as well. So that's it. Not a bad week for Bitcoin, down a little bit from Friday to Friday, but not bad. Most of the miners did pretty good, so that's a good sign as well. And that's why I love the miners, investing in the miners at least. Not financial advice, do your own research as always. But the reason that I love them is because when Bitcoin pumps, they pump even better, as seen here. So you can see it. Iris up 19, CleanSpark up 16 in the last week, which is really, really good. All right. So let's get into Argo here really quick. And Argo is a little bit concerning. We also have Hive to cover and Hut 8, but we'll do that in another video, possibly for tomorrow. Or if I have time today, I'll get it out maybe today. We'll see. All right, so here's Argo's update. So Argo mined 219 Bitcoin or Bitcoin equivalents compared to 179 BTC in June. Based on daily foreign exchange rates and cryptocurrency prices during the month, mining revenue in July amounted to 3.89 million British, pounds. That equates to 4.73 million USD dollars. Argo generated this income at a Bitcoin and Bitcoin equivalent mining margin of 37% for the month of July. June was 50%. So their obviously electrical costs have gone way up, which are now accounting for 63% electrical and possibly operations. As we've seen Bitcoin prices come down and obviously electrical pricing going up. So that has had an effect on ARGO. They have, they're holding 1,295 Bitcoin, of which 227 were BTC equivalents. And financing updates. So the company sold 887. I actually have something different for them, but we will get into it here. Where's ARGO? ARGO is right there. I have something different. I have it at them selling 877. So I don't know if that's a typo, possibly, or if I'm missing something here. But we're just tracking from month to month and what they mined. So that is a little bit different from that. Might be just a typo. And proceeds were used to reduce obligations under a BTC-backed loan agreement with Galaxy Digital, as well as to fund operating expenses and growth capital. So that's a good thing. We're seeing, obviously, Bitfarms had the same issue where they had to sell BTC to cover their BTC-backed loans. There were others as well. So Galaxy is getting paid back on those loans, which is good, and the companies are, reducing their debt, which is also good. So the company had an outstanding balance of $6.72 million under a BTC-backed loan, a significant reduction from the maximum outstanding balance of $50 million in Q2 of 2022, which is obviously a pretty sizable reduction there, which is good. And they were kind of forced into it, I think, based on price of Bitcoin falling down. They were forced to kind of sell, unfortunately, as did other miners. So Helios power update. During the month of July, ARGO electricity costs at its Helios facility in Texas continue to be higher than previously anticipated. And that's obviously based on the hot weather that we're having, the war that's going on in Europe. And obviously the summer days are hot. People are needing to cool their houses, so they've been shutting down some of their miners during peak times. So in the middle of the July, ERCOT issued a conservation alert urging all residential, commercial, and industrial electricity users to reduce electricity consumption during the specific afternoon hours when electricity demand would be at its highest. ARGO, along with most large-scale Bitcoin miners in Texas, proactively shut down operations and reduced usage by over 1,000 megawatts, thereby reducing strain on the grid during peak demand. In extraordinary circumstances like that, ARGO believes that electricity should be prioritized for uses that ensure the health and safety of the public and is proud to be able to reduce its operations in order to contribute to grid stability. I agree with this. Bitcoin mining is obviously very profitable when done right and can also help the grid out and the local communities as well. So by them shutting off, I'm fine with that completely. No qualms about that. Hash rate update. So during the month of July, the company completed its machine swap with approximately 10,000 S19s, which were hosted with Core Scientific, finalizing its strategic pivot to a self-hosted business model and owning and operating its own infrastructure. The company expects to generate better performance from its mining machines and have a great control over operations, including operational expenses. That is also correct. So anytime you give your miners to a hosting provider, you're paying them for the electricity, for the services, other things in there, so you are making less on that, and you don't have control over the electrical costs, where if you have your own facility, you can kind of control it a little bit better, possibly, depending on the terms that you get, obviously. So this is obviously a good move for them, and it should put them in a better position, I would think, going forward. There was also a little issue here with some of the miners, the S17s and the T17s. So there have been reports of high failures among the 17 series machines within the crypto mining sector, and the company has experienced similar results within its own fleet. After carrying out a review and audit of the portion of its fleet, the company has determined that approximately 460 petahash of its 17 series machines are not operational and are not suitable for repair. Ouch. That's a lot. But the good thing is they did provide that despite the operational challenges of the 17 series machines, they have been profitable for the company, generating a total ROI, return on investment, in excess of 260% in aggregate to date, which is pretty good. You would have possibly wanted to see that a little bit higher, but nonetheless, they were at least profitable, 160% more, obviously 260% more than what it cost them. So that's a good sign there. And company's total hash rate at the end of July was approximately 2.23 exahash, and they are going to obviously inform us when they do remove the machines, the 17s, or any updates to that going forward, which is also good. And that is it. So obviously, the machines going down is not good, but the good thing is that they weren't the best machines to begin with. So we'll get into that as well here, what was changed on my sheet. Okay, so here is Argo. Argo is, obviously, they got a lot of shares out depending which stock symbol you're using. I'm using the ARBKF symbol for them, so it's 584 million shares out. Stock price is at 46 cents. Market cap is about 268 million right now. Current hash rate, I do have them at 2.23 exahash. Future hash rate is about 3.7 exahash. They are 59%, almost 60% operational future hash rate. And hash rate average per miner is 89 right now. Do have their HODL position at 1,295, which is approximately almost $30 million in value right now. And then looking at their monthly production updates here, we can see that they made, I have them at about 5.14. They reported 4.6. What was that? No, not that one. They reported let's see here, where was it? 4.73. So I actually marked them at 4.71. So we're really close to that. But based on if they use the end of the month for July Bitcoin price, they would be at about 5.1 million in revenue compared to 4.7, but they're using the daily exchange rate on Bitcoin. So that's obviously going to have some fluctuation. Bitcoin goes down, Bitcoin goes up. They're using the average of that, I guess. And they came up with 4.7 something. So we're really close to that as well. And we can see that they did increase their hash rate here to 219 from 179 from June, which is good. The other thing that's kind of good is, I should have done this as well. Live and learn. There we go. So it's obviously an increase of 40 more Bitcoin per month, which is good. Increased by 22%, which is also good. The only bad thing is that the BTC per petahash mined has decreased below 10. So it was at 0.1035. Now it's 0.0982 based on these numbers here. So they obviously have some efficiency issues where they have been pretty good here. I mean, they were at 15.15 here in January. They went down a little bit to 11.89 in February, 14.35 in March. April was 14.62 and May was 8. Went down pretty bad as well. So we'll see how that continues going forward. It's something I would like to see them increase and get this a little bit better, get it above the 0.1 range. That would be nice. And here's what I have them as far as selling. So I have them at 877. They provided 887. And that equates to about 20 million or so. So they sold about 32 million in the last 2 months here, which a lot of miners have been selling. If you follow me on these videos, we're seeing that quite a few have been selling to get rid of debt and everything else during right now, which is a shame. I wish they would have been selling at when Bitcoin was 69,000, or at least a portion of their BTC. But that way they wouldn't have to sell so much right now, I would think. I hope they learned from this going forward and will continue to sell a portion of it, if not all of it, of their BTC to fund growth and everything else and try to stay out of debt, basically. So we have that here covered already. And then here's what we had as far as the T17 and the S17s. So I think, I'm not sure which one was which, but they had obviously approximately, what did they have here? About 15,000 of these, whether they were T17s or the S17 miners, and they were the 38 terahash miners, and they have about 1,000. These might be these S17s plus, I think, maybe. Those are at 65 terahash, which are obviously a little bit better. So I'm not surprised they're getting rid of these. They lasted pretty long for them, too. It seems like they got their money worth out of it. But right now, they're just not very profitable. They're making right now on June, July. I mean, they were making $3.32. Take away electricity. I don't know how much they were paying for electricity, but if they were at if they only made a profit of 37% on total revenue, or am I saying that right? 37% is what they came in at, I believe so. So if you take 37%, they're basically making possibly less than $1 on these per day, which is pretty low. And so I am actually kind of glad that they're getting rid of these. This will actually increase their hash rate average going forward. Getting closer to the 100 terahash average per all these miners. So here's what we did. So they said that they got rid of the 470 petahash of the S17s here. So these are, in the prior videos, you probably saw that these two were combined at 15,000. So I split that up to 470 so I can get rid of them here in July, August, and September going forward, so we can kind of monitor what's going on here. And as they were still mining in June, obviously, so we wanted to keep that there. And then once they update us with any more information from these 2,850 left and 1,000 here, we'll obviously make some adjustments here as well to correspond with that information. So July, we have at 4.7 million in revenue. They are at 2.23 roughly. I have them at 2.229 exahash right now, and that equates to with what they reported, which is right on. Oh, the other thing is obviously I had to get them down in the days mining, so I got them down to 21 and a half days mining in July, based on what they reported as earning at 4.7 million roughly. So I had to take all those machines down and reduce the days they were mining to get it to that number. And that is why the BTC per petahash has fallen down, because it should have been higher had they been able to mine the entire time for July. All right, so that's that. And let's move on to institutions. So institutions also decreased, which is kind of not a good sign. So from June, or in July when I did this, there was 53 institutions. In August now it's 43, so we had a decrease of 10 institutions. We had quite a bit of shares sold as well, and then percentage owned has decreased by about 6.25% from that, from 16.5 to 10.24. We lost basically one analyst, or actually two analysts. We now have one strong buy, one regular buy, and we had two buys and two strong buys as well. Price, however, stayed the same target as far as it was before. 326 for the high, 260 for the average, 193 for the low. And we'll leave it at that. So yeah, this obviously isn't a good sign. Institutions are getting out, probably because of worries about debt and everything else. But I think once they get that resolved, along with getting the miners swapped out like they were doing with Core Scientific, they'll get their hash rate right up there, but they obviously are going to have a little bit less hash rate overall. And all, if they got rid of all of these machines here, they would be down about 645 petahash from the reported hash rate of 3.7, so about 3.1 exahash total is what we're looking at. So that would get us to be obviously a lot closer to their future hash rate potential and give them a lot less upside potential as it is. So based on all that information, we are looking at the current quarter possibly being around 18 million if everything goes well for them in August and September. I'm at 18. That might be a little high considering that they've been having some issues there. We may have to drop this down obviously a little bit by a couple million, maybe around 16 million or so for the quarter. But right now we're at 18. Last three quarters have been about 62.3 million. Combined, we're at 80 million, and then 50% net income, which right now they're at 37% net income from gross revenue, looks like. That would be 40 million. And if we're using the PE of 20, we would be $1.38 from that. But given that they're not going to be growing that much further, I would put them down probably to around a 10 PE right now, or even around 12, so about 83 cents currently. So 46 cents right now. They're still a little bit undervalued in my opinion, but so are all the other miners as well. Some are undervalued more, some are undervalued less, but we're undervalued right now currently. And that might change obviously when Bitcoin starts going back up. So we'll have to see how that plays out actually. So that's it. Let me know what you guys thought of the microphone. Obviously, how the sound comes through now. If it's any better, if it's worse. If it's worse, I'll probably go back to my other microphone, see if I can maybe jack up the volume a little bit or something like that. So let me know on that one. I would appreciate it greatly. And I think that's all I have for right now. Like I said, I'll have at least one more video coming out later on today or tomorrow. And I'll see you guys in the next one. If you guys enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.